everyone. I'm been working on a memory quilt for my cousin Jenna for her son Aicen's clothing. After he passed away, she gave me all of tubs of clothing and blankets and different items, and I've been hanging on to them for way too long, and so I've found it very difficult because I have that personal connection to his items. Over literally years, I've been finding it very difficult to bring myself to finish up these projects, and I really need to get it done for her. It's been too long, and so I want to do a clothesline quilt for her with his clothes. Some of you may have seen the memory quilt that I made for her son Zane. I gave that to him about 4 or 5 months ago for Christmas in 2022. And so her birthday, Jenna's birthday, and also the anniversary of his passing is coming up, and so I want to make sure and have those done for that event. So the first thing I'm doing here is preparing the clothing for the quilt. Because I want to make a clothesline quilt, I'm going to need to shape each of the pieces of clothing that will end up on the clothesline, or at least looking like they're hanging on a clothesline. So these are their overalls, and I'm just taking them apart, kind of bit by bit, and you'll see I am taking off a lot of the thick pieces. I'm going to try to reuse as much of that as possible, put it in other items for Jenna, but I've taken off the inseam. I'm cutting the back from the front. I will use the back piece in the quilt for Jenna's husband Sean. So right now I'm just, like I said, just preparing the pieces, and so taking the pockets out, making the items as thin as possible. I actually ended up using that label on the quilt, and so it really looked cute. But anyway, so here are the shorts, just cutting them into a front and a back piece so that I can have them lay flat on the quilt so that they look most appropriate. Yeah, just having to shape them up. So how sweet is this? I think I videoed when I was putting these on, and so I did that. And so this is just blue fabric that I had. This is actually a blanket from Aicen, and then another blanket from Aicen. Again with his blanket, and then more of the quilt, and again the border at the bottom. And this is Jenna's quilt, and so there's the, let's see, Wild About Mommy. Love that. So this is her quilt. Just some more fabric. And then my personal favorite is this sweetness. This was on a blanket, and I just cut around it and appliqued it onto a piece of fabric. Some water fabric because it's a whale and a whale baby. More t-shirts and a blanket from the hospital. Yeah, more t-shirts. And so I'm going to continue. Actually, all I have left is to add one, maybe two more items to this side piece, and then attach the side pieces, and we'll be done. So yay, so excited to get it done. Can't wait for you to see it finished. I've got my walking foot on because this fabric is gonna be nice and difficult. And hopefully that's it with the quilt top. I'll go lay it out and you can see my face. I'll go lay it out and make sure that there's no issues, and that's it. And so next I am picking up the long arm tomorrow, bringing it to the shop, to Jennifer's shop, and setting it up. Hopefully everything works right. I'm going to practice some of my custom quilting, things that I've learned along the way that I haven't really practiced yet, with some panels that I purchased while we were in Vegas. Practice that up a little bit, and then do some custom quilting on here. I wanted to do some clouds and some pretty borders. We'll see how that works out. Yeah, we'll see. Stay tuned. So in all my quilting videos, I've never seen anybody get really frustrated when they're trying to quilt.
They're lying.
They lie if they say they never get frustrated. They'll talk about the problems and how to fix them, but then they never really show themselves being stuck. So YouTube world, I'm here to tell you that as a sewer, as a quilter, we have many a moments where we have to stop, clean the machine out, rethread the machine, rethread the machine, rethread the bobbin, and go on and on and on. In this particular machine, I had to take the plate off to get in there and clean it out really good. And so I'm gonna put the plate back on, and we will continue. Actually, I'm doing this because we did have a little bit of an issue, but also I am starting a new quilt, so I want to make sure that that I'm starting off with a good, clean, oiled machine, that we don't have any issues, and then we will proceed. In my head just now, I cursed. So I am here in my living room with Jenna's unfinished quilt. I don't know how much I videoed of it on the quilting machine, but it was loaded on the quilting machine. It was ready to go. I had video. I was like, hey, here we go, I'm quilting. We're finally getting this done. Then we unquilted. We took it off the machine. I'm pretty sure I have video of Mom and Sarah and possibly someone else, Niecy maybe, actually pulling the stitches out and unquilting. So the problem is that I used lots of different fabrics on this particular quilt because it's a memory quilt, and so I wanted to use shirts and fabric and blankets and a different blanket and a t-shirt and a pair of pants and quilting fabric, all these other fabrics. Our long arm, as you know, we had problems with it. It's back, but it wasn't set up yet. And so by the time, you know, I wanted to get this finished, so I was going to use the domestic machine that we have on the quilter, the non-long arm quilter, the domestic quilting frame, I'm sorry. So we had it on the long arm quilting frame, and that particular machine has served us very well, and I love having a machine on a quilting frame that we can use. However, it's, you know, not a high-end anything. No, I'm just showing you the quilt. It's not a high-end anything, and so the, it wouldn't quilt it. It wouldn't do it. It wouldn't go through it. Every time, you start from the top. Every time it hit, it went from the t-shirt, everything was good. When it hit this blanket fabric, it would get caught up and tangled up. And so I am going to now have to do it on my machine at home, which is fine. I have a great machine with a walking foot. It's gonna be fine. So I will be doing straight lines on it, and then once that's done, I will see about doing some actual, like some pretty decorative quilting in this area, but not over some of this other stuff. I don't know if I'll be able to do it or not. So no, experimental time. Yeah, good stuff. This is an awesome quilt. It has been a long journey, and I am super excited to be getting done with it. Look, remnants. That's where we pulled the quilting out. I'm super excited to be finishing it up and give it to Jenna, and because I have some other things to do. So anyway, here we go. So the saga continues. I don't even know how long this video is gonna be because it just keeps going and going and going, and going and going. Y'all, it's like deja vu. I'm doing this all over again. So all I'm doing here is I have the backing laid out on the floor, and I'm putting the batting on top of it. And then next I will layer the top, and that will allow me to, I think I sprayed some glue on it between the layers, and then I will be able to bring it to the machine and get it quilted. Putting on a frame is so much easier. Oh my God. But look how cute that is. I love it.